Hello everybody, this is Husky10. I am Jonathan Sparrow, and just to recap, this is what we have for our game. We have a character that walks, jumps, and I did add something else off camera. If you press the down arrow, he crouches. Now, in this video, I did promise we would be adding a collectible and a score. So let's get going on that. So let's add a new sprite, add an animation. We're gonna add it with Piscal and make a prototype or something just to stand in for now. Save. These will stand for our coins. Now in our level 1 events, we're gonna add a new group and we're gonna call it coins and score. So click on add new event and add a condition. We're going to add a condition. When the player is in collision with the coin, we want it to delete the coin. To make things easier, let's just call this coin. Coin or collectible, whatever you want to call it. So as you can see, if we run into it, it disappears. We can actually play around with this. I'm going to add another action. I'm going to type in play sound. But we need a sound. So open up Google. Type in sfxr.me. This is an 8-bit sound. This is an 8-bit sound. This is an 8-bit sound generator. The one we want is a coin or pickup. Keep pressing it until you get one that you like. There we go. Go over to this link right here. Right click it and save link as. I'm going to save it as coin pickup 4. I already have 3 others, so I'm going to save that. Now go to add action. You do not need a condition because you already have one. So type in play a sound. Choose your sound effect. We don't want it to loop, and for the volume we're going to say 30. Okay. And when you run into it, it creates a sound. So let's see what we have for collectibles. double click your coin, add an animation frame, and let's see what we have. This one just includes characters, so I'm not going to use it. Let's look at the other ones we downloaded. Alright, there's no whole... I thought I downloaded more. Let's see what else we have. Okay, we have a diamond. So hit apply, and we can place these anywhere. If you want, you can choose another. You can also make your own sprites. You don't have to use the ones I downloaded. I'm going to replace it with a red one so we have more color on the scene. And this is what we have. As you can see though, there's no score. So let's change that. First things we're going to do is go over here to our layers editor. This thing comes with a layer editor. I'm not exactly sure what layers do, but we're going to add a layer and call it UI. Okay. Add a text. We're going to call this score. And hit apply. Put it into our scene. Go to proper. Okay. Let's press play and see what we have. Now, as you can see, you can't see the score. The score doesn't follow the camera, so let's change that. Go to this right here, properties, click your score icon and select right where it says base layer, you select UI layer. Save it. Always constantly save your work, so that way when you're done you don't have to keep rebuilding. And we have a score, but it doesn't do anything. That's because we need a variable. Now there are several ways to do a score variable. We can add a global variable which keeps track of the project, which keeps track for the entire game. There's also a scene variable which is also specific to the scene. But for the score, we're going to choose a global variable. So go to here, select in the game settings tab, select global variables, hit add, rename it something like scorekeeper. You can name it whatever you like, but like I said, scorekeeper would be good. I'm just going to simply call it score. On the other side, we're going to set it to 0 and then hit apply. right in our condition and action where we added delete the coin and play sound, we're going to add another action, and we're going to find our global variable, value of a global variable, score equals, no, we don't want it to equal, we want it to add, so hit plus and type in 1, hit OK. So what's happening is it's counting how many pickups or coins you have. But you can't see it. So let's add a new event. We don't need to add a condition. We're going to add an action. We're going to select our score text and select modify text. Select equals. And in this, we are going to find our variable. So click this button. Go to variables and then text of a global variable and select your score variable and hit apply. Now there's another thing you can do which I think is kind of cool and fun. At the beginning, type quotation mark, let's say score colon space quotation mark space and plus. This is so this right here will show up. If without it, you will just get numbers. But I'm just going to keep it like that. So press play. You now have a working score counter. So I'm gonna go and place these all around. We got 5. Now I'm gonna go ahead and change the ground. With one of the sprite packs I chose. So okay, so it's adding, you can make your own sprites like I keep saying. I do that quite a lot. I create my own sprite. I use PowerPoint. I tried to use GIMP, and occasionally I'll use a sprite. This is a sprite. As you can see, I've only made one character so far, but this is a sprite. Now, like I said, we're going to change the ground. So nope. There we go. And we can move this This is sand. I kind of like it though. And let's see how it looks. And we now have a really cool area for our character to play in. There's some more stuff I want to do. I'm going to tweak this a little bit. I'm going to go to score and I'm going to change the font. I already have downloaded fonts. Use whatever you have the rights to. I went on Google and I typed in public domain fonts for free, and a lot of these are what came up. Now let's add an enemy. Let's see what else we have. Let's see what else we have. Let's see what enemies they have. Oh, these are all from the abstract. These are all from the abstract flight. These are all from the abstract one, so we're gonna add a new sprite, add an animation. I am going to go select the walking sprites and hit apply. We're gonna rename it enemy. We're also going to add a character, an object variable. So add an object variable. If you don't know how to do it, you click on these three dots, go down to edit object variable, and then hit add variable. We're going to call this direction and left. Hit apply. We can essentially place this anywhere. I'm gonna place the animation on loop. There we go. But I'm gonna change this to 10. As you can see, it doesn't do damage, it doesn't do anything. So let's change that. We're gonna make it move. So add a new group. Let's call it enemy movement. And add a new event. Now I keep forgetting how to do this because I don't do it often. There's several routes you can take to make it move. I'm gonna show you the one that everybody else uses. But for this one, you're going to need 2 more sprites. So let's add 1 sprite. Call it left. Add an animation. Edit with Piscal. Color it black. Save. And hit apply. Duplicate it. And call this one right. place the right one here, and place the left one here. Now I know what you're thinking, 2 black squares or rectangles aren't gonna look good. You're actually going to be hiding these. So I'm gonna open up one of my older files. I'm gonna admit this right now, I'm not perfect. So level 1, let me see what I did. Alright, so let's get going. So add a condition. Find the text of the object variable, direction equals left. Hit OK. We're going to duplicate it. Add a new event and paste it. And then double click it and click invert condition. Now we're going to add to enemy an instant of force. I forget. Okay, so you can fool around with this, but you want it to be 40. You want it instant. So the speed of the x-axis should be 40. And the y-axis should be 0. Remember, x is this way. It's across the screen horizontally. Y is vertical. So hit OK. We're going to copy and paste it. And edit 40 and call it -40. Now we're going to add a new event and say when enemy is in collision with right, we want it to go right. No, we want it to go left. So we want to change the variable checks of direction. So click your enemy, go down to value of an object variable, direction equals left. As you can see, it's still not working. So hang on. Sorry. We want to duplicate that. So copy, add a new event, hit paste, and we want to change the left to right. And when enemy is in collision with left. If this doesn't work for you, I'm sorry. Okay, we might need to move these around. Okay, something's still not right. We don't want flipping, so copy. Okay. Okay, for some reason it's not. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and move them over here so when we drop in we can instantly see. Now, like I said, you might have to play around. This for me is trial and error. I'm sorry that this is taking a while. Okay, for some reason it's not. For some reason it is not. For some reason it is not working. It's not supposed to go through these, so I have no idea what the problem is. Oh. Like I said, that a lot of game creation is trial and error. Okay, you don't want to do that. Alright, I'm gonna go back and change one thing to our enemy. Maybe that's what we need, is to capitalize this D. But it's still not working. Okay, now I'm getting a tiny bit frustrated. Oh! We used the wrong variable. This needs to be the text. We didn't use the text. But it's still not working. Okay, I messed up. All of this needs to be the text of the variable. And we have it working. So let me explain what I did to get it to working. So it has to be the text variable of direction equals left. The problem I had was I wasn't using the text variable. I was using something else. I was using the value of an object variable. I wasn't using the text. You need to add an instant force of 40 on the x-axis and 0 on the y-axis. You can mess around with this number and make it move fast or slow depending on your liking. On the bottom one you had to do the same, but you had to reverse this one. You know what, let me try something. Yeah, that didn't work. But like I said, you want the text value direction of the enemy, text value of the variable, which is direction of the enemy, and you want it to equal to left, but you want to invert it so it goes the other way. And then you want to add to the enemy an instant force of -40, or the number you chose up here. And then you want 0 on the y-axis. Now, when the enemy is in collision with right, you want to change the text variable of direction of the enemy to left. So that way when it collides right here, it will go this way. When it collides with this one, it will go the other way. If you use, when the enemy is in collision with left, change the text variable of direction of enemy, and you want to set it to right. Now I suppose you could also invert this too, but it doesn't give you the option. So now you want to add a new event and type in at beginning of the screen. Hit OK. Then you want to hide these two so the player doesn't see it. And there you go, we have an enemy. Now we do have now we're gonna tweak it a little bit and all that, but we're gonna add a new event. So when player is in collision with the enemy, we want it to go back to the start. So we can copy and paste the thing we used, the code we used for the character falling off, this part here, and add it to the action. So when you're in collision with the enemy, okay, okay, something's off. Okay, something's off. Our character for some reason isn't moving right. So what we're gonna do, for some reason our enemy is going through this. I have no idea what the problem is, to be honest. We did everything correctly. Let's see. Hang on, I got an idea. Are they not in the right order? Alright, I'm gonna cut this video here for a minute, and hopefully I'll solve it. Hey guys, I am sorry about that. I'm sorry that I cut the video. I'm sorry I was getting a little frustrated. I had some troubleshooting to do, but I eventually did get it to work. With this thing. See how it bounces around? That's the result that we want. I'm gonna go over what I did and explain a few things of how I solved it. So, the text variable, you wanna click enemy, go to text of the object variable, change it to direction equals. Now this part is very important. You wanna put it in quotation marks and then right left. Hit OK. And then you want to add to the enemy a force of 40 on the x-axis and 0 on the y-axis, and set it to an instant force. If you set it to a permanent force, I noticed it wouldn't move. Same thing down here. Instead, when we did the whole equation, we said invert condition. Then we added to it another force of negative 40 on the x-axis and 0 on the y-axis. And you don't want a permanent force. Now when the enemy is in collision with right, we wanted to change the text variable of direction to, and set it to left. Again, in quotation marks. This is very important. It won't work unless it's in quotation marks. And you did the same thing on the left, on the bottom with the left one. You had a collision with the enemy and left. You changed the text variable to, this time you changed it to right. Okay. We added flipping to the top one, and we set it to no, and on the bottom one we set it to yes. And then then we added, at the beginning of the scene, we hid both left and right. So all that was left to do was to add these in. Left goes on the right side. Right goes on the left. For some reason. That was how I got it to work. Otherwise it wouldn't. Otherwise it would go through them. We said that when the player is in collision with enemy, it goes back to the starting point. It goes back to this location. So let's test it out. Now I'm gonna cut the video out here because the video is already really long. I did not fully intend to add enemies yet. But in the next video we're going to add lives, we're going to extend the level, and we're going to be doing a lot more with this. So thank you for watching.